History books tell us about kings, queens, wars, and revolutions, but they don't always tell us the craziest parts. Today, we're diving headfirst into the weirdest, wildest, and most unhinged events in European history. While some of these moments will have you rolling with laughter, others might just bring a tear to your eye. Let's begin. Okay, so Australia famously lost a war against emus. But did you know Europe had its own bird-based catastrophe? Back in the 14th century, France waged war against frogs. Yes, an entire village was kept awake at night by a swamp full of unbearably loud amphibians. So what did they do? They went on a medieval frog-smashing rampage. The result? Thousands of dead frogs and one very confused historian centuries later. Europe loved justice so much they even put animals on trial. In 1386, a pig in France was sentenced to death for eating a baby. Not only was the pig given a full trial, but it was also dressed in human clothes for its execution. Imagine showing up to court and the defendant is just a pig in a tunic. Justice medieval style. Jumping forward to the Renaissance in 1606, a dead whale washed up in Florence. Instead of just getting rid of it, they put it on display for people to admire. Bad move. It rotted, built up gas, and one day, boom, it exploded in the city square, showering spectators with whale guts. Talk about a Renaissance fair gone wrong. They say laughter is the best medicine, but for King Martin of Aragon, it was fatal. One night in 1410, after stuffing himself with an entire goose, he asked his court jester for a joke. The punchline was so funny, Martin laughed for 3 hours straight, and then dropped dead. Cause of death? Royal giggle overdose. In 1808, two men in France had a duel in hot air balloons. They floated into the sky, fired pistols at each other, and one balloon popped, sending the duelist plummeting to his doom. The other guy? He just floated away, victorious, but probably questioning everything about his life choices. History isn't just kings and treaties. It's full of bizarre, hilarious, and sometimes heartbreaking moments. Which of these stories blew your mind the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this wild ride, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Until next time, stay curious, and maybe avoid dueling in hot air balloons.
The most important event that happened in the 70s, it wasn't the Vietnam War ending in 75, the Watergate scandal 72 to 74, the disco era. That wasn't it. The invention of the mobile phone. That wasn't it either. But what it was, you guessed it, the chicken dance in 79, created by the Swiss in the 50s. From French to Portuguese, they all had their own lyrics. Chickens were dancing. Their neighbors, the pigs, they were dancing. Now, all together. Na 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 na.
Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, in Italy, the Italian government was dealing with some interesting issues. On this very day, Rome's city government was announcing plans to remove graffiti from historic monuments. But of course, some of the graffiti was so intricate, it almost seemed like modern art. Can't imagine the city's reaction when they had to choose between preserving history or the art of street-level rebellion. Hit that subscribe button for more weird, wild, and wacky history, because who knows what crazy things happened on your birthday. Maybe you'll find out next time.
European history is filled with groundbreaking discoveries, legendary leaders, and profound cultural achievements. and also some of the most ridiculous decisions ever made by supposedly intelligent humans. Welcome to History Unhinged, where we explore the weird, wild, and downright absurd moments from Europe's past that your textbooks were too embarrassed to mention. Like how Henry VIII went from athletic heartthrob to needing a crane to lift him onto his horse, all while creating his own religion just to swipe right on wife number 2. Or how Napoleon Bonaparte, one of history's greatest military minds, was once attacked by a horde of bunnies during a hunting expedition and fled in terror. We'll tell you about the Swedish warship Vasa that sank after sailing less than 1 mile on its maiden voyage because someone forgot that ships need to be, balanced. And did you know London once experienced a deadly beer flood? In 1814, a brewery tank burst, releasing 1.4 million litres of beer into the streets. Talk about happy hour gone wrong. I'm History Motion Machine, and I believe history doesn't have to be dry and boring. These are real stories about real people who sometimes made really stupid decisions. Just like us. New episodes every Thursday. Subscribe to History Unhinged for the European history your teachers were laughing about in the staff room.
April 13th, 1966 was a day of immense historical significance. It was a day when humanity took another giant leap into the cosmic arena. The Soviet Union achieved a groundbreaking feat, placing Luna 10 into orbit around the Moon. This unprecedented achievement marked a turning point in the space race. The Luna 10 mission provided invaluable data about the lunar surface and its gravitational field. It was a testament to human ingenuity and our relentless pursuit of knowledge beyond Earth. The success of Luna 10 sent ripples across the globe. It fueled the competitive spirit of the space race, pushing the United States to further its own lunar ambitions. The quest for space exploration became a symbol of national pride and technological prowess. This event wasn't just about reaching the Moon. It was about expanding our understanding of the universe and our place within it. It ignited the imaginations of people worldwide, inspiring dreams of future space travel and discoveries. While the space race soared to new heights, a different kind of conflict raged on Earth. The Vietnam War cast a long shadow over the world, and April 13th, 1966 saw the conflict escalate further. The United States increased its troop deployment to Vietnam, deepening its involvement in the war. The war in Vietnam was a complex and tragic chapter in human history. It highlighted the devastating consequences of political ideologies and the human cost of conflict. The growing involvement of the US in the war sparked debates and protests around the world, dividing public opinion. On that same day, another kind of tension brewed in Portugal. The country was under the rule of Antonio de Oliveira Salazar, a dictator known for his repressive regime. Paradoxically, April 13th marked the inauguration of the Salazar Bridge, later renamed the 25th de Abril Bridge. This imposing structure, intended as a symbol of progress and national unity, stood in stark contrast to the political climate of the time. It served as a tangible reminder of the ironies and contradictions that often permeate history. April 13, 1966 was also a day marked by cultural shifts and milestones. The Beatles, the biggest band in the world, found themselves at the center of controversy. Their comments about religion sparked outrage and protests, igniting debates about freedom of speech and the role of popular culture. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, James Brown, the godfather of soul, released his iconic song It's a Man's World. This powerful anthem became an instant classic, addressing themes of gender inequality and female empowerment. These cultural events, seemingly disparate, reflected the changing social landscape of the 1960s. It was a decade of profound transformation, marked by challenges to traditional norms and the rise of new voices demanding equality and change. April 13th, 1966 holds a unique significance for me. The most important thing that happened in April 13th, 1966 was the birth of, you guessed, yours truly. I was born in a small island in the middle of Atlantic Ocean. At least for me, it was the most important thing that happened that day, and for my mom too. If you love uncovering the hidden connections of history, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more deep dives into the past. What historical day should we explore next? Drop your suggestions in the comments below.